So my name's Connor. I predominantly play guitar, the lead stuff, and I also sing a wee bit, like this new track, which I'm sure we'll get into. And Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I sing for all the other songs, and I play guitar as well. But yeah, me and Connor started as a duo. There's two other members of the band who couldn't make it, but yeah, Donal and Matthew. Just a wee shout out to them. But yeah, drums and keys for them too. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So you guys are both based in Glasgow, and you do indie pop.
Correct.
music.
Correct.
Where did you guys form? Like, how did you guys
So
get
we
together?
met in school, so probably over 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
In high school. So since then we just started playing guitar together and stuff like that. We always wanted to make music together, but it was just one of those things where we would just jam and play other people's songs and occasionally come up with our own things, and it would always be just a case of knocking it down the line, being like, yeah, we'll do this one day. And I think it got to the point where it was like, right, we're starting to run out of time. Since then, it's all kind of happened quite fast, probably a lot faster than a normal band's progression. Not in terms of like success or anything, just in terms of like getting all the guys behind us, getting Kyle, our manager, and stuff like that all in place, and playing gigs and stuff. So yeah.
Could you maybe then compare yourself to, well, obviously not, you guys are unique as a band and there's no one out there like you, but I guess maybe for anyone who's new to the Too Late, what kind of music would you say you're similar to?
As you say, we're quite a niche sort of style, I'd say. We've both got very sort of broad music tastes, so that does come from, I mean, I personally love Fleetwood Mac, so there's like elements of that, and I'd say the 1975 are probably what we would liken to, but with just different elements of different genres, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, there's certain songs that we tried to write a song like Sam Fender, and there's it's kind of each song as we write it, we take from a different artist and try and sort of do our own thing with that in mind. But
Yeah. Also, just on top of Ryan's influences, although we are pretty much very similar, like also make a lot of sort of house music and stuff at the moment. So that's slowly kind of working its way into the tunes. So like the new one, it's just got a bit more of a electric feel to it and stuff. So we're slowly sort of
changing again,
changing our sound, but I think it's a sort of natural progression. Like it still sounds like us, you know. So.
Okay. And where did the name come from? You guys were on time for this live, so you're never too late. Was it from the, I mean, you briefly mentioned feeling like everything's kind of propelled, but maybe when you started the band, you felt like, oh, we need to start now or never?
I mean, there was an element to that kind of fitted in, but it actually came from, so I live in a flat with my dad, and just over, you know, whether it's the last 5 or 10 years, I've always played guitar and came up with little ideas, and usually that's around 11 p.m. to midnight. So the sort of thing that my dad would do, they'd come through, chat at the door, and he'd say, Ryan, you can't be playing guitar at this time and singing, it's too late. So that is where it did come from. But I suppose there was a wee bit of an element of, oh, is this too late to do this?
Yeah.
But well, we're going to do it anyway, sort of thing.
Another funny thing about that is that's what I always thought the name was about, like, oh, it's too late. And then one of the first interviews we did as a band, Ryan kind of said what he just said there, and I was like, all right, just kind of nodded along, like, I knew that's what it was.
So your first release, One Hit Love, that's now a year old, right?
Yeah, so just a year and a half or so now, yeah.
What was that about? You had like a great number of streams on that as well, so congratulations on the success of it. How did it feel to get like such a great reception?
We didn't expect it to do so well, and I think because me and Connor, we weren't really, you know, like known in school to be these like musical people that were going to be in a band. I think everyone that we knew was kind of surprised by the fact that we'd, you know, made the band and released this song, and they were, I think, very curious of what it was going to sound like. And I mean, we really did sort of push it, and we got a lot of streams and still do. But yes, we didn't really expect it to go that well, but it definitely did do well. So
yeah, it's definitely probably still our favourite song, like to play live and stuff. Just because we know it's like everyone's favourite. But that was a kind of weird one, because although it was our first song, it was basically all you, Ryan, that wrote it. Like I wrote the guitar, some of the guitar parts, but like the actual story of the song, that's over to you, Ryan, I guess.
I mean, we've kind of got this thing where we try and name the songs that it's not a name like that's not been before. So One Hit Love, it was actually a debate. I wanted to call it Love, didn't I? He said you wanted to call it One Hit Love, so we went with that. But it's just basically just a song that feeling when you see someone and you just kind of fall in love with them in that moment. So it's just a sort of journey and a personal journey for me on that. And I think when I wrote it and then I brought it to Connor, and Connor, especially guitar wise, Connor comes up with just some unbelievable solos. And production wise as well, if it wasn't for Connor having input, sort of heavily production, it wouldn't be the song that it is. But it was like that was the start, whereas now we're both very, it's very
much like a 50-50 sort of writing process now, which just over like 7 songs now, it works really well. Yeah.
I guess over time you kind of learn what each other's skills are, and also bouncing off ideas off each other. You also quite quickly, I guess, for new artists, unsigned, artists, released an EP. How was that process? Because sometimes you have to think about like, how do these songs fit together? What songs do we select?
That was a weird one, because we were going to just go with another single, which was the Sunday Lovin' one, and then we were just sitting down one day and we had this just huge, so like that's one thing me and Ryan are kind of like blessed with, that we don't struggle to write songs, so we just have like loads to go through. So we were just wanted songs out, like we have all these songs, so why don't we just pick ones that kind of fit the gel of an EP that complement like Sunday Lovin', and we can go with that. So yeah, I guess Sunday Lovin' was the start of it all, and then Intertwined and Psychological Warfare were ones we just kind of picked out a big book that we have that's like, right, old songs, and then we just stuck One Hit Love on it as well, which kind of actually helped that get to the amount of streams that it has now. It just worked out quite nicely with the whole algorithm and stuff.
Obviously, single releases is quite a common thing when you're upcoming. Did you also kind of feel a little bit of pressure of like releasing a full body of work? And because it's a lot of promotion, it's like you want to give every song its attention. Did you feel any of that pressure?
Well, yeah. I think naturally, going on the whole sort of like running out of time thing. Like, we're only 26, but it feels like we've not got a lot of time to sort of get to where we want to. But I think it was the pressure of, are these songs going to be as good as One Hit Love because it did so well? Are people going to like them? There was a lot of pressure, and I think we do feel that pressure quite a lot. But I mean, it did well, and I think we put a lot of effort and hard work into getting the songs to where they are. But I think we'll always feel pressure, no matter if it's one of those things. But I mean, that's why you do it, because you love it, and if you weren't feeling pressure, and you probably not doing it right, But
I think I think we're glad that we did do it, because it almost we didn't really understand fully like this sort of EP idea until we did it, and then we were like, right, how could we have made this better in terms of like, although all the songs definitely do gel together, just maybe put, like, if to be like really critical, just put a bit more thought into, okay, let's make this a whole sort of separate idea and like write all the songs at the same time, sort of thing, just to make it sort of naturally gel that way. But that's just all good news, and it means we can do that later down the line.
It's like learning and growing, and like you said, you're always going to be critical as an artist about your own material. But we did have a comment, I think, by Chris, who said banger after banger after banger. So the EP's, you know, you're getting a great response. There's no dead ones on that EP. Working on the EP and trying to make things fit in sometimes just doesn't work. So you need to like let it happen organically, and it is a solid EP and a great chance for your listeners to see what styles of music that you kind of like. You know, venturing in different types of songs. Is there one that you really prefer performing when you're on stage?
It's hard, like, because Psychological Warfare, which is the most sad one that I really enjoy as the singer, because it's a really emotional song and it's one I really connect with. But in terms of, I mean, I enjoy all of them, but I suppose it just depends on what mood I'm in, I think.
It's almost like if you split the set in half, like you want that ballad moment, but you also want that like one hit love moment at the end where everyone's just going through it. So, but yeah, I would say those two are our favourites. But
well, I enjoy Just Don't Tell Me Anyone, because Connor does more singing. I can get a bit of a breather, which is good. And I really enjoy it. That's probably what I enjoy most, playing guitar on. But yeah, I mean, we enjoy both of them, and when we play them live, like we proper get into it. So but yeah.
Let's talk the latest release, just Don't Tell Me, which is an absolute tune. I'm not gonna lie, it's been in my head like for so long. So congrats on the release of that. How does this differ then maybe from everything else?
Well, I think it differs mainly in the sort of style musically, first of all. This is going back to what I said earlier about the sort of house music and stuff. This was the first one where I sort of maybe did like 80% of the production, like taking nothing away from Ricky who mixes and masters us, but we basically had the solid idea there ourselves, which was like a lot of drum sampling and finding a lot of just stuff, like loads of samples like on Splice, places like that, and creating the song that way. And then it was almost like getting the vibe through that and then working backwards to the lyrics, which was mainly me, so I could tell you a bit what that's about. So basically just wanted it, when we were writing it, just really relatable, like what's something that people can just grab onto, and like that whole idea of, right, I'm gonna listen to that again, like I'm going through this at the moment, let's stick that on. So the whole idea, Just Don't Tell Me, is like the beginning of a new relationship and you don't really know where you stand yet. Like, as in, you really like this person, but you don't know if they're like still seeing other people or they're like into it as much as you are, and you want to play it cool and you don't want to be like, so what's going on here?
Is this coming from
nothing like too personal, but it's like an all sort of in one thing that we both can relate to. And I think
most people probably.
When I told Ryan that, he was like, yeah, let's try like zone in on this type thing. So that honestly just wrote itself like within maybe like a day or two, and then it was just sort of small touches from there. I don't know. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, well, I mean, Connor always comes to me with ideas. I always go to Connor with ideas, and it was like as soon as I heard it, whenever you'd find me, then like all the lyrics as well, like they were just spot on. So it was like a very easy process for me. But yeah, no, like I've liked that because Connor, although we're very similar in terms of music production, what we like, what we don't like. It was just nice that you like already had it in your head. And I mean, like I really love the solo. As you saw, we go to the outro as well. Like I just think that's just such a tune. And I mean, it's probably the song I put at least input into. But it's just a really fun one to play. And as I say, it's good to get a breather whenever we're playing it live.
It's fun. It's fun.
You said absolute tune, and so did Coco. Like, it is genuinely such a banger. Visually, like, are you thinking about maybe doing some music videos around some of the music that you've released?
we've got an idea that we want to try work out. We're also working with someone at university just now, a student who's got her own idea for a song that we're working on just now. So hopefully it'll be back-to-back sort of music videos for this release, then our next one.
You're going to see some dancing. I've seen some Facebook videos which they were questionable. Questionable dances.
I think
are we going to see that?
Know the answer to that. Absolutely.
What is next for you guys? I know you also have a performance that's coming up next month, I believe.
It's quite an exciting one because it's sort of whoever sells the most tickets headlines it. So it's four bands, so I think it'll definitely be a sold out show regardless of who's top of the bill. So just knowing that it's going to be a good night, and you know you're going to be playing in front of not only like our fans but that potential reach of 3 other bands' fans as well. So we're really looking forward to that.
I think we've already played that venue. That's where we did our first gig. So I think we're like very comfortable knowing like what we're going into. And as Connor says, it's three other great bands as well. So it should just be a really, really fun night. And we've not had a gig sort of this month, but we're looking to after that try and do as many as possible. But we're just sort of taking each gig as it comes, I suppose. But no, we're definitely really, really looking forward to it. And the kick is fun.
Where is the show that you're performing?
No, it's in Glasgow.
It's not in London,
it's on Suckhill Street. I know.
You need to come down to London. I need to see
we're really trying, and like we're talking just now about Edinburgh, and then after that, like we need to get down and play some gigs. So keep an eye out.
For sure. If I said to you in 5 years' time, where do you expect the Too Late?
I would like to say like global stardom arenas. With that, we're going to try our best. But I mean, we're just going to. We know this year we really need to push it. Do as many gigs as possible, get as many songs out as possible, and we've already got a good few songs in the works already. So I'd like to say in 5 years' time, we'll be playing Wembley. You'll be able to come see us. But I mean, we're not in this just faint-heartedly. Like we're going to give it all we can, and we'll see where that takes us. That's all we can do, really. So
yeah, I think also just going back to the last question about what we're looking forward to about the gig. Like we've also spoke about now that we have those gigs under our belt. Let's right. Not that any of the shows before were like a disaster or anything, but we obviously were nervous and we played the songs and we got the crowd involved. But now that we've got that out the way, we really want to like work on a proper show and like just putting on a proper night to remember. So I think if we keep working on that will help us grow a sort of fan base, especially live. And in 5 years' time, that could grow into something pretty cool. So.
Nice that you also now have quite a nice discography to perform. I think when you're new and you've just got 1 or 2 originals and then you're filling it out with covers, it doesn't really give you a chance to showcase what you can do. So I think it's exciting days ahead for you guys. And also Curtis agrees with me, get down to London, guys. Before we leave, is there any sort of shout outs and final messages that you'd like to give out to anybody?
Curtis is one. If it's the Curtis I'm thinking of, Curtis is one. He's always sort of been involved in terms of artwork and stuff for the EP and the singles. So he's a talented man, and we appreciate that, as well as Kyle, our manager. He's always got our backs and puts a lot of work in for us. And
then just the 2 other guys in the band as well, showing up every week, rehearsing and believing in not only what we're doing, but what the 4 of us are doing, and making sure we're all on the same wavelength. So yeah.
Before you leave, can we have a bit of an acapella of the latest release? I put you on the
next
spot,
release.
I'd love to hear it.
Where will we go from? From Breakfast and Drugs. I'm trying to remember the
chorus. Well, there isn't really, is there?
It just goes straight into it. Let's do Just Don't Tell Me
we'll
first,
do that,
and then
we'll see if it comes back.
We'll go back.
Okay.
Right. So if you're messing around, go for that.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
2, 3. Oh. If you're messing around, can you keep that to yourself? Guess I'm so into you, I just can't help it. You can do that, but just don't tell me. I feel like you're breaking my heart already. I'm brushing this off, but it feels so heavy, so heavy. You can do that, but just don't tell me. I feel like you're breaking my heart already. I'm brushing this up, but it feels so heavy, so heavy.
Hey. Honestly, guys, huge congrats on this single. I can see big things hopefully happening for this if you keep driving the music. It's been a pleasure to get to know you guys. And hopefully, when you're down in London, I'm still following your journey. So I want to know all the music news that you guys have for us. But thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And hopefully
thank you so much. We're a big fan of your channel. And if you didn't reach out to us, we wouldn't have saw your great content. So I think it's great for us both. And looking forward to seeing what we both can do.
Thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put all the links in the description. Please do go follow them and yeah, stream the latest release because that's a banger. It's a tune. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheers, man.
Catch you later. Thank you. Bye.